Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please give your valuable comments. You can also visit my playlist. In the playlist, I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic order so that it is quite convenient for you to the study. Meanwhile, we will also deal with today's topic, my dear friends. And today we will going to discuss about a very important topic related to personality development of the child. And it is often seen that many of the parents, especially mother, used to complain that my baby is putting the finger into the mouth always and it is always involved in thumb sucking. Now, what is the importance of this thumb sucking and why it is happening and what is its relationship with the personality development of the child? So that very interesting part today we will going to describe. And many of the time the parents think that thumb sucking is very bad habit. Of course, it may be a bad habit when it is prolonged. But actually, if thumb sucking is there, what actually it indicates? Thumb sucking is not included under the physical disorder. Thumb sucking is included under a psychological disorder somewhat or psycho-behavioral disorders. So that interesting part today we will go into cover. So it should be begin with the basics now. Everybody might have heard the name of Sigmund Freud. He is a very great, the modern times psychoanalyst. Okay. So he proposes a theory of psychosocial development of the child, psychosexual and psychosocial development of the child. Now, two important psychologists were there. One is Sigmund Freud, so who has proposed psychosexual development of the child, psychosexual personality development of the child. Another one is Erik Erikson. So he proposed psychosocial personality development of the child. Both these theories are very important to us to understand the personality development of the child and what actually Ayurveda says about these important factors and how well it is incorporated in our day-to-day routine in Indian tradition. So that is a point that we have to understand. Anyway, we will start with the introduction. Each personality is further divided into many subtypes based on the level of supremacy of one can attain. So personality can be of many types. It depends upon the supremacy that one can attain. Therefore, in Ayurveda also we find different types of manasika prakritis like tamasika prakriti, rajasika prakriti, and then sattvika prakritis. Depending upon your supremacy, the level of personality that you can achieve. For example, somebody may not achieve a level more than the tamasika prakriti. Few may reach up to the rajasika prakriti and few may reach up to the manasika prakriti like sattvika prakriti. So that depends upon their individual supremacy and also different environmental factors and the triggering and supporting factors. Now, on the roadway of studying the personality development in the human beings, we have to take help of two important psychologists, that is, one is Sigmund Freud and as well as Erik Erikson. Both of them propose many theories related to the same. As I told, psychosocial developmental theory was proposed by Erik Erikson, whereas psychosexual developmental personality development is proposed by Sigmund Freud. Erik Erikson himself, he says that his all theories are basically motivated by or has been modified version of a Sigmund Freud's concept. So basically, Sigmund Freud should be given with all the credit because he is the first person who explained this. Erik Erikson got help from it and then he proposed his own theory. So we need to analyze the concept of both psychoanalysts hand by hand to understand the concept of development of a human psychology. Now we are only concentrating on psychology in the newborn period, newborn and infantile period. Theory of Sigmund Freud put forth by psychosexual personality, that's development of the child, psychosexual personality development of the child. Erik Erikson put forth the theory of a psychosocial development of the child. They studied and put forth the theories related to the personality development of the child after birth. Now, Psychosexual personality development by Sigmund Freud. So he divided this into different stages like oral stage, then anal stage, like that 4 or 5 stages are explained that we'll discuss later. So as for this theory, personality development start with the oral stage. According to first theory, the personality development will start with the oral stage. Okay. So according to him, the oral stage begins from the birth and extend up to 18 months. That means almost all 1.5 years. Starting from birth till 1.5 years of age, 1.5 years of the age is the oral stage according to Sigmund Freud. And now, what is the importance of this stage? At this stage, this is the first stage where the infant concentrates on oral stimulation to get the pleasure. That means infant concentrate on oral stimulation to get the pleasure. Now, which type of pleasure? According to Sigmund Freud, it is a psychosexual pleasure. Okay, you may be surprised. Do you find in sexual instinct in the newborn also? Yes, sexual instinct is present in all the people, but it will be exhibited at different stages and different way. Okay, see, any living organism in this universe will have certain instinct, as I explained in some other videos also. One is instinct towards the food, instinct towards the security, instinct towards the sexuality, and instinct towards the shelter, etc. Isn't it? Even a microorganism will also show this instinct. These are called as primary instincts. We want food by any means, isn't it? We want shelter by any means. We want some security by any means, and we want some sexual pressure by any means. Okay, so this will be present in almost all the individuals, including microorganisms and macroorganisms and human beings, but its presentation, way of presentation is different. Now the question comes, even a infant or newborn which is born will have this psychosexual pleasure. This psychosexual pleasure is a primary instinct. Always primary instinct should be fulfilled. This is a theory. This is a rule. If you fail to fulfill the primary instinct like food, like shelter, like security, and like sexual instinct, then the proper psychological development will not take place. It leads to some agitation, it leads to some disturbance, irritation, etc. If these instincts are completely fulfilled, then the personality development of the child or any human beings will be proper. So this is what exactly Sigmund Freud says. Okay, now that sexual instinct which is present in a human being in the newborn period will be more concentrated on oral stage. That means by means of oral activities. For example, lips. Okay, child want to fulfill her or his sexual pleasure as a primary instinct. Okay, which is a primary instinct. Now, how it is possible? See, through the oral area, the baby get connected with the mother during the breastfeeding. Now, why we always say that breastfeeding should be given immediately after birth? The reason is, at that particular stage, starting from birth to 18 months of the age, sexual pleasure, what the baby get, that is through the oral stage. How through the oral stage? That is by means of breastfeeding. So during the breastfeeding, it is emotionally connected with the mother and feels secure. Now, breastfeeding is not only for the nutrition purpose, it is also for the psychological development of the baby as it fulfills the sexual instinct. Baby also get physically connected with the mother during the feeding and experience the warmth of the mother along with the psychological fulfillment of sexual pleasure. As a mother is the only word to the baby, it is completely dependent on her for all physical, emotional, nutritional needs of the needs and oral cavity area through the sucking is the only connection with the mother. Okay, so this is only mother is connected with the baby or baby is connected with the mother only through this breastfeeding, emotionally, physically, psychologically, etc. So baby also frequently put the thumb. Now the question comes, usually baby puts the thumb into the mouth, into the oral cavity and involved in sucking whenever mother is not available nearby when it needs emotional, nutritional and psychological security. This is the point. When the baby sucks the thumb by putting into the oral cavity, it suggests that that's the time actually baby need that psychological support from the mother to connect her with emotionally and psychologically, because the sexual instinct of the child has got a major role to play in the development of the psychology of the child. If mother is not available nearby by that time to fulfill this deficit, what baby will do is immediately put the finger thumb into the mouth and start sucking. This indicates that this is the time actually baby needs the mother to get connect with her. And if it is not fulfilled, so baby keep on doing the thumb sucking to get that pleasure by other ways. Anyway, baby has to get the sexual pleasure by sucking through the oral cavity. If breast milk is available or mother is available to breastfeed, then that itself is the connection. Okay, that fulfills this stage. If mother is not available, baby immediately shift for thumb sucking. Okay, so now even up to years, even up to 2 years, almost 18 months means up to nearest almost up to 2 years, child has got tendency of putting everything into the mouth due to this tendency, isn't it? Baby put everything into the mouth. If you give the playing article, that also it will put into the mouth. So because baby use this oral stimulation as a main method of getting gratitude and satisfaction, especially sexual gratitude and satisfaction. Nutrition, mental support, emotional drives, physical contact, security, which the baby need will be provided only through this oral contact, and these experiences are stored in the unconscious level of the mind. Okay, so whether during this particular stage baby has got that mental satisfaction or not, psychological satisfaction or not, okay, and if not, then what are the adverse effects happen? If it has got, what are the good effects happen? Everything will be stored in the subconscious level of the mind, the subconscious level of the baby. Okay, so these that means messages which is stored in the subconscious level of the baby will come into work in future life whenever it needs whenever it faces such situation of emergency, or whenever he faces a situation where emotional support is required. Now the thoughts which are stored in the subconscious level will come out and will support the baby. And if that particular emotional support is not stored in the subconscious level, or if there are some bad experiences stored in the subconscious level, so when really in future life when he faces an emotional problem, he will have a lot of problem. Therefore he says it plays a very important role, a major role in the future development of the person's psychological status. So oral contact with the breast of the mother give a pleasure to the baby, helps to come out of the emotional insecurity, physical insecurity and nutritional insecurity. If in the infantile period mother was feeding the baby adequately, okay, breastfeed, just as in Ayurveda says, if it is possible she is continuing to give the breast milk even up to 2 years of the life, okay, along with other foods, then it create a foundation, a very solid psychological foundation, that baby has got all good experiences in his subconscious level as far as security, sexual gratification, emotional, behavioral and shelter factor is concerned, and in future that baby will not have any such problems. So when this stage is proper, that is baby is well cared by the mother by breastfeeding, there will be a proper development of first stage of the personality of the child, and these memories are well stored. So these memories from the subconscious mind will be reused by the child in future. This is a repetition. Whenever he is under stress, need emotional support by the involuntarily putting the thumb into the mouth. So we can find even in adulthood sometime, whenever we are in stress, we are involved in excess eating. Again, stimulation of the oral stage. Okay, sometimes we get oral stimulation, we will put our fingers into the mouth, isn't it? Suddenly it is unconsciously we are doing actually without any understanding, or putting the pen or pencils into the mouth sometime, okay, chewing the gums in or even nail biting sometime. See, all these factors suggest that during our infantile period we didn't got sufficient good experiences related to this, because probably we are not properly breastfed up to the required extent. So that necessitate all these actions whenever we are facing some problem in future. Even the cigarette smoking is also considered where a stick is placed in between the lip also gives the oral pressure as a part of this addiction. Okay, kissing is another form of getting fulfillment of this oral phase, kissing. Similarly, in these situations, it is stored information, experiences during the oral phase of the child, that is 1 to 2 years of the child, in the unconscious level of the mind, which is working, although we feel forgotten those events. We do not remember all those events, what happened in the first year of the life or second year of the life. But in the subconscious level, all such good and bad events are get stored. And that will come into act in future life whenever it is required. Okay, so such activities like cigarette smoking maybe sometime, or putting the pen and pencils inside the mouth. So this is a continuation of the same. This is continuation of the same, and we have been not properly attained with the oral stage. Oral stage. So this is what is explained by him. Now only one answer for this is breastfeeding should be done not only for the nutrition but for also your psychological development. Number one, the context of Jatak Karma Samskara. Immediately after birth, you have to put the baby into the breast of the mother as early as possible. These are the two important contests related to this that we will explain in the next class. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Thank you very much. Again, we will see in the next class.